Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record weekly review special for week 14 in the second year of the Gaming Decathlon competition. This week brought in a kind of small score of 1,764, which is 16 points lower than a week ago after two games. Finished up season, two more finished up a season this week, so again, that score is going to have an effect next week from that. Best round is still almost 1,000 points away from where we're at right now at 2,691. Current virtual best, tiny increase, 7 points higher at 3,098, and the all-time virtual best, also 7-point increase. That same 7 points brought that up. Looking at the 10 games individually, in Kenshi this week made progress in the construction of walls. Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2019. A lot of episodes played. This week we brought in 310 points, which is a bit short of the record. However, we're only mid-season right now. So, in fact, we're not even to the end of the non-conference schedule. Last season had super high hopes, but things fell apart when Clint King and others took some injuries. Clint King, very much long-term. It flipped the season on its head real quick. This season, though, tremendous start. The only loss is to the number 2 team in the country so far. Draft Day Sports College Football. We had some off-season activities. This is one of those games that reset, and Draft Day College Basketball was the other one. So that's where we saw that drop in points. But the college football game, we haven't even begun the season yet, so we're sitting on 0. Motorsport Manager is now at 91 points. That was a 14-point race. That was an excellent result for us. One of the best we've had, especially considering the circumstances. We didn't benefit from other cars crashing out or crazy tactics, weather tactics or anything like that. That was legitimate racing pace. Able to pull 91 points was fantastic and really a sign of the progress we made in developing that car. Pro Cycling Manager, in the career mode, we add a whopping 2 points. We had a rough end to the season, but the races were not suited to our team at all. We came to the end of the season and huge sigh of relief as we will be promoted to Pro Continental. So next season should see a big jump in points as we get into higher point value races, including some World Tour races. In the Pro Cyclist mode, again, we've had that recent reset in season, so we wiped out those 854 points from last season. That's where our overall is down so much, as that's 85% of the way to 1,000. But we're already back up to 233. We had a tremendous race this week where we bagged a whole lot of points. Football Manager 2019 was active this time. That's where those 7 points came from, getting us to 433. Setting that record that little bit higher. We are getting closer to the end of the season now. We've still got a little ways to go on that one. The only other active one this week was Dirt Rally 2.0. Came to an end of a season there. It was a very welcome end to the season. It was supposed to be 2 episodes this week. The first episode was the 3rd race in the rally season number 2. Clearly showing that I was struggling with this car. That this car was not going to help me in the long term. I opted to then kind of skip ahead and just try to get towards the end of the season, knowing that this car was too much for me, and we didn't want to see 6 episodes covering 6 rally events where I'm at the back of the grid every time. I was kind of just ready to move along. So the second episode that I recorded, I skipped past the 4th one, doing that one off camera, and I was at the back again. But then the 5th and 6th races, I recorded, but the codec did not work. The audio codec was having some sort of issue, and I could not get that episode edited and therefore published on Friday. So unfortunately, I've had to skip an episode of Dirt Rally 2.0. I did get to the end of the season. I did not score any points, though I was a little bit better in those last couple of races. I was in the low 20s in ranking instead of dead last of those cars that survived. So I did move up slightly, but I was still not very competitive and still having issues. And ultimately found out that the class that I was in, that car is the fastest, but not terribly stable. So it's a really difficult class, at least for me, to manage that car. So very much looking forward to moving on to H2, even though it's rear-wheel drive, which is going to be even more complicated, but the times are a lot slower of the other racers. And if I can find a way to keep control of that car, we could be in pretty good shape. But again, the end of the season, scoreless, so only 200 points, which is lower than where I finished out previously. But as we move back over to Rallycross, I think we're going to score a lot of points this coming season. Looking on the opposite side at the all-time top 10, no change in the standings. And the only score came from Football Manager 2019, 7 points there. Closing it up on Dirt Rally a little bit, but still 11 points behind. But it is very much in a position where it could move up 2 spots in the near future. Dirt Rally, Factorio, both inactive games. So FM19 certainly could go ahead of them, but as it's a part-time game, we don't get episodes terribly often, once every 3 weeks or so, 3 to 4 weeks. It takes it a bit longer. But I'm doing more games off camera for that one than in the past to try to kind of help keep up pacing wise, and that should give me an opportunity to get beyond 1 or 2 or both of those games in the near future. That's going to do it for this review special. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out next week as we get back onto a normal schedule as the Final Four is wrapping up in real life. So my college basketball game will kind of go back down to a normal schedule of 2 episodes per week. And that's it. Bye for now.